Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. So happy to be here with you all again amongst more craziness from Harry and Meghan, because they had the audacity, folks, to put out a video or an advertisement about their upcoming interview with this American show called Sunday Morning. It's a very popular show here in the States that's on Sunday mornings. And they're trying to appeal to the masses here in the States. I'm telling you, the typical American that doesn't follow royalty, which it's a lot of people that in passing see Harry and Meghan and think, oh, isn't that just so nice? That's Princess Diana's son. You know, just not really into the backstory, all the nefarious and shady things that Harry and Meghan do. There's a lot of people that just don't see it. They don't care about it. That's a big concern of mine. But that aside, clip of their upcoming interview. And there are some signs in this couple that I've pointed out that I think show they really do not like each other. I think at least Meghan is despising Harry. This woman is done. But she has to do what she's doing. And I'm going to talk about why. Let's get into it. This interview that Harry and Meghan have done together, it shows to me a lot of telltale signs of a couple that has put themselves out there. They have to do what they're doing. There's no way around it. They have put themselves in a position where they need to make money. Not only that, but they need a cause. They need something that is important to the public that they can advocate on behalf of, so that they get people invested into their story, into the work that they're doing. They need this. And the only reason why they really are talking about cyberbullying and issues around the internet is because they are so despised on the internet. So it's their way of combating the pushback that they get when they try to do anything on the internet. Well, you know, Meghan's talked about how she doesn't go on the social media platforms and she doesn't read the Twitter. And yeah, you do. You do read it. And the only reason why you're trying to be an advocate on behind all of this now is because you want to go on these social media platforms and do what you do and not have people speak the truth about you. You don't want the truth heard. So now you think you're going to be this advocate and behind cyberbullying now. I mean, you think about when they first came to California and they were going around donating food to the needy, visiting this one charity with ex-gang members, and it was all about Black Lives Matter. They are whatever is the hot thing to talk about, because they have no substance. They don't have anything near and dear to themselves to really be behind, because they're about their own selfish enrichment, their own empire they're trying to build. So this is why they hop around from one cause to the other, trying to say we're the voice and we're going to speak on behalf of these things that they really have no real connection to. They don't. They are the biggest sham and fraud, because we know they have to make money. And this is the only reason why they're out here now on this Sunday morning show, trying to get their faces out there to up their profile as new royalty in America, and trying to get the average American who doesn't really understand the things that they've done on social media, or understand the things around the royal family and how they've treated their families, how Meghan continues to treat her father. They want people to be ignorant of that and just keep putting themselves out there on these major platforms, news media platforms, to drown out all the other noise of the truth and to just get people to see them as these glorious saviors for the people. They, especially Harry, when he talked in this interview, I seriously wanted to throw up. I was like, are you serious? This man is a joke, okay? A joke. Meghan's done with him, by the way. And we're going to talk about that. But let's look at this. Okay, so Harry and Meghan, they sat down with CBS's Sunday morning show. And this interview they had was to discuss, like I mentioned, cyber abuse. Speaking to the host, Jane Pauley, Harry said that the parents have to be the first responders. They have to be the first responders. Yeah. And added that it is terrifying. It's terrifying that many parents are unsure of the telltale signs of possible suicide. Okay. One thing that I want to say about this is there are parents out there who have had to deal with their children and suicide. If they really wanted to make a connection to this horrible tragedy of teen suicide because of cyber abuse, they could highlight the stories of the families that this has already happened to. They could use their platform to not put the spotlight on themselves, but to put it on the people that have really had this affect their lives. Harry and Meghan haven't been affected by suicide. Like I said, that's how they can make real meaningful change. But they don't want to really make meaningful change around this cyber abuse and suicide or unaliving people, or unaliving yourself, because there's a way to do that that's more impactful and more meaningful. And it certainly is not about you two wackadoos sitting there talking about it. All right. Then Meghan goes on to speak about how okay, let me just also go back to the first responders. Parents need to be the first responders, right? Parents need to understand this. But see, what Harry in his ignorance doesn't understand, there are a lot of children out there that don't have the parents to be the first responders. They don't even have parents who are connected to understand that there should be someone supervising or watching over these children, because there are a lot of children who are just in the world, living, doing what they do, barely day to day on their own. They don't have the parent engagement to even have their parents be the first responders. And then that's part of, I think, what Harry doesn't even understand. But that aside, because that's just from my experience working with young people. But going on, throughout this new clip, Harry and Meghan, they also speak about how parents need to protect their children from online harm, all whilst reflecting on their own experiences with their two young children. Speaking to Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, Meghan said, "Our kids are young. They're 3 and 5. They're amazing. Amazing. But all you want to do as parents is protect them. Yes, like your father protected you, Meghan Markle." You know, you look at what she says about her own children and how she dotes around them and wants people to feel like she's so connected to these invisible children. But yet she overlooks how her own father wanted to protect and do everything for her. And she's completely ghosted him. How can you have any sympathy or feel any connection to someone when they dote on their children, when that very same person ignores their own parent that loves them? It just doesn't make sense how this woman thinks people are so stupid to her actions. And so as we can see what's happening in the online space, we know that there's a lot of work to be done there, and we're just happy to be able to be part of change for good. And you have thrown yourself in change for good, because didn't nobody ask you to come be a part of this change for good on cyber abuse. No one asked you to be a part of something good. Why don't you go do some good in your own life? Go do some good in your own life and start treating your own families like they have some kind of value or love from you, because you don't act like they are any value to you. You treat your families like dirt and you use them. Meghan and Harry are using the royal family for their connections to make money. Meghan completely ignores her own family. There is no connection to doing good in a meaningful way in your own life. So you're going to sit up here and prance around like you're trying to do some good around an issue that you really have no true connection to. You're just trying to protect yourselves from how people treat you online with the criticism that you meaningfully deserve. You are such a sham and a fraud, because they just want to be a part of a narrative that really is about them. It's not about the people and to help other people. They don't care about people they don't know around cyberbullying and cyber abuse. How can you care about people you don't know when you can't even care about your own families? You can't even show common decency to your own family. Why would anybody believe this couple has an ounce of truth in them based on their own actions? It is very perplexing to me. I can't seem to understand how this is possible. How CBS would even want to interview them. Or when they do get interviewed by people, why do they not push back? Why wouldn't Jane Pauley come back and say, well, what about, the abuse that your families have had to endure with your fans? Harry and Meghan, these people that bring them into these seats to talk have no pushback. They'd have no counter narrative to anything that Harry and Meghan are actually saying. Because if they did, they would have a good story. They would have a good story to tell, rather than having some fluff word salad regurgitated out into the public sphere around some nonsense that they really have no meaningful connection to. Because that should be the story. How your Sussex Squad people bully people and have bullied the royal family. Bullied Catherine and Charlotte. The king. That's where the real story is. CBS Sunday morning. It's not about Harry and Meghan talking about the good that they're doing. It's about the people that support Harry and Meghan and the abuse that Samantha, Meghan's sister, has had to endure. A disabled woman who has been severely abused by the fans and supporters of Harry and Meghan. That's your story. This is what she then went on to ask them. Okay? You hope that when your children ask for help, someone is there to give it. To which Harry responded, if you know to help. Yeah, if you know to help. If you know that the woman sitting next to you is shamming you, is what I say. Yeah, do you know this, Harry? Do you know that your wife is pulling the wool over your eyeballs as we speak, as you sit there trying to make yourself sound intelligent? Do you know? No, but you're going to talk about the parents if they know to help. Okay, whatever, Harry. You need to learn how to help yourself because you're in trouble, man. I see it. You are in trouble. He said, at this point, we've got to the stage where almost every parent needs to be the first responder. And even the best first responders in the world wouldn't be able to tell the signs of possible suicide. That is the terrifying piece of this. And, Harry is really the terrifying one that people should be concerned about because he is on a roller coaster ride of a future that is not going to fare well for him. I see it. But anyway, although it remains unknown when the visit will take place, it is expected to take place later this year upon the pair's acceptance of an invitation from the country's president, Francia Marquez. Okay, so this is going now into their upcoming another royal tour the fake royal tour that they are going to have in Colombia, which I'll talk about in another video. But I want to take a look at the actual video from this interview because I want you to see what I'm talking about. And this is what you're going to see. You're going to see Harry and Meghan sit there in their individual spaces. No connection between the two. There is absolutely no sense of a married couple that is really trying to bring good to the world through their themselves as a couple. Meghan looks at Harry with the evil eye. She looks at him like, why are you talking? She gives this sigh like when he goes to speak. And Harry looks at Meghan and starts wandering. If you watch it, he's actually not even looking at her. He starts to wander like he's daydreaming while she's talking. This couple is no longer connected in purpose. They are sitting there because they have to be there to up their profile, to make money. This is about life and death for them and their security. This is about being able to survive. They're not there because of the abuse. They're not there because they love each other and trying to do good in the world. They are sitting in these chairs on this show trying to get their profile up so that they can make their money as some concerned royals, ex-royals, fake royals, frauds. This is what they're trying to do. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this.
And so as we can see what's happening in the online space, we know that there's a lot of work to be done there, and we're just happy to be able to be a part of change for good.
When you're...
Did you see Harry? Harry's just like looking off like, oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, what?
When your children ask for help, someone, is there to give it. If
you know how to help.
Thank you.
At this point, we've got to the stage where almost every parent needs to be a first responder.
Why are you talking? Like she does not like this man. I mean, you can't even see in her eyeballs a little warmth, love. Oh, there's my husband. Yes, honey. Go ahead and say what you're going to say. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's like, look, you see it? And let me ask you a question. Do you think about the harm and cause that Harry and Meghan have made to their own families? I mean, look at Thomas Markle. Look at how he has been bullied by his own daughter. Do you think they really care about people and suicide? And like, why are they speaking about this? Why are they even the ones to think that people want to hear them talk about suicide? They have no connection to a story around suicide. Don't be fooled. They're sitting there because they have to. They have to be there. They have to have a purpose so that they can make their money. There's no real connection to anything around the real suffering that happens with people around cyber abuse, because Harry and Meghan are the biggest proponents of people suffering from cyber abuse from their own supporters, and they know it. Not only that, but there are allegations that they even pay these people. I even met someone that said that their family members were a paid Sussex squad. So you have to look at this and say, why are you talking about this? Why would CBS even want to interview them? This whole interview, when you look at it, doesn't even look legitimate to the point that they have anything meaningful to say that's worth listening to. But yet again, here we are. They are trying to make a living, their millionaire lives off of the backs of real pain and suffering from people that are suffering because of their supporters and people who are really suffering from cyber abuse. They are trying to enrich themselves off of the real pain of real people. They have no connection to this. They should not be talking about it. And it is appalling to me that they can just ring up and people listen to them and not challenge them and not understand the backstory of this fraudulent couple. That's the real story. Jane Pauley and CBS Sunday Morning. Not the word salad and regurgitated speaking points of Harry and Meghan. They don't have the backbone of people that really care, because we've seen it in their own lives. So why are you allowing them to talk on behalf of other people in their pain as if they really care when we know they don't?